welcome to the interview. My guest today is a successful businessman, a distinguished socialite, and a member of the National Assembly. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. My guest today is a lawmaker representing Oyo State. Welcome with me, Honourable Shina Peller. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. Good, I'm great. I'm so happy to have you on the show today. So you ran for office, you won, now you're a lawmaker. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good, and I just feel that I'm challenged.
Right.
No, because I went into politics purposely to change the narrative. We cannot just fold our hands and keep watching things go bad.
Okay, so we'll get into your role as a politician and as a lawmaker a bit later. But first, I want you to take me back to your growing up in Oyo State, saying to be precise. Tell us about that. What was it like growing up, and where did that hunger come from to be this kind of success you are today?
My late dad was an artist and an entertainer, and I would say precisely the biggest magician that Africa has ever produced. And when we're growing up, first of all, we're able to grow up independent because most of the time, my parents are always on tour, and at that time we have to just take care of ourselves. So I went to Command Secondary School in Ibadan, and after Command I went to Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, where I studied chemical engineering, and after that I did my master's in business administration. So, but I would say that I got my hunger from the early days when we used to work for our dad, because whenever that we're not in school, we're always with him on tour,
Tell us a bit about your wife. We don't see her at all on social media. We don't see her pictures. Is it that you're hiding her? Or?
I'm not hiding her. She's always busy backstage. They say behind every successful man is a woman. My wife.
Tell us about how you met.
We actually met in school.
Okay.
She went to Ife, Bafemi Awolowo University, and I went to Lautech. But then I had a sister that went to Ife as well.
Yeah.
So she was more of like maybe my sister's friend. So anytime I go to Ife to go and check on my sister, So I met her at that time, and we've been together since then till now. So
I know you're a Muslim. Are you polygamist? Do you plan to have more wives?
No, just one.
So you're faithful?
I'm faithful, yeah.
It's good to know. So what do you do to relax? I mean, when you want to hang out, relax, are you a family man, or do you like to just go out to the clubs? And
For me, everything works with me. I just like to. There are different things that makes me happy. I love playing PlayStation.
Oh, really?
Sometimes when I have my time with my PlayStation, I'm good.
What's your favorite game on PlayStation?
Pro Evolution Soccer.
Ah, so you're a soccer man.
Yeah.
So you have a son who
Yeah,
joins
Sultan. Yeah, my son, very, very good. Very,
Aye.
very good. We always play together. Even when they are not around, we play over the internet.
For real? That's nice. So do you miss your kids when they're not, just you and your wife at home? I mean, what's a day like when the kids are not around?
The kids are because I try to want them to be as independent as possible.
Right.
So I made sure that they are in boarding school. So when they're in boarding school, the mom too is working. She does 9 to 5, and I'm working too. I've I've been a very busy person all my life. You know, I've done oil and gas, building and construction. I went into entertainment, and after that, came into politics. So I've always been very, very busy.
Is your wife also a Muslim or she's a Christian?
She's a Muslim.
She's a Muslim. So, as a family that is Muslim, what kind of values do you like to put out there, especially for children in these days? You know, there's a lot of secular music out there, lots of temptations for young people. So as a very devout Muslim, are there certain restrictions you don't let your children go into, or are you very liberal? You're a liberal type of Muslim?
No, I'm very liberal.
Okay.
You know, I don't try to force them to do things. I let them know that, like, it's simple. My kids, they know that you can't disappoint daddy.
Oh.
So that's it. And I always tell them I'm very free. Whatever you can do in front of me, don't do it behind my back. So they know. Once they know there's something that they can do in front of me, then they're not going to do it behind my back.
I'm curious, what's your favorite food?
Amala and gbegiri.
Oh, I should have known you're an Ibadan man. Gbegiri and Ewedu. Is there a joint in Oyo you go to? Is there a particular joint you like to eat in Oyo?
In Oyo? Yeah, there's a joint I've been eating in Oyo for about 20-something years. I know the place, I don't know the name of the joint.
But you just know the direction.
I know
turn
the
right,
direction
turn left, and you
till
get
tomorrow by the express.
So what do you order exactly?
Amala and gbegiri now.
But how do you do? Is it roundabout?
Amala,
Is it
gbegiri, no, the
you like all the assorted?
orishirishi.
You like the orishirishi?
Yes, no.
Oh, interesting to know that you like orishirishi. So does your wife cook that amala for you?
Yeah, she's a very good cook.
Oh.
Very, very good cook. She loves, you know, and she knows what I like. I like cow leg as well.
Are you serious? Don't tell us the secret, because we don't want people out there to be telling to know your secrets.
Yes,
Please,
so
let only your wife know what you like. We don't want to. Yeah, but tell us about what's your philosophy about life, because obviously life has taught you a lot of lessons, and it's important that we begin to share with young people and people out there. How would you advise young people who want to be in your shoes today? You've been through a lot. You've hustled from the university. Things are not thrown at you. You worked your way up. Kids today don't want to work. They want it to be handed over to them. So could you just give us a few things you've learned in your journey?
Okay, one thing I know that is very, very important in life is to understand that hard work is the only key to success. And I say this to even few guys that I mentor, and when I even give them opportunities, I try to tell them that don't focus on just making money from this. Focus on making it a success, because when you're successful at something, then riches will come. You understand? Riches doesn't bring success, but success brings riches. And that's why I say that every successful man is rich, but every rich man is not successful. And the only key to success is hard work.
That hard work is a very, very relative term these days, because you don't know what hard work is. Some people do the work, they try
just
to
keep working, keep working.
No matter what it is.
Trust me, keep working, keep moving. Just know that you're doing something. It's better than being idle. And if you know, it's very, very good to at least first of all choose something that you've got interest in, something that you enjoy doing. And so look at, like, for example, you see a staff in an organization, even when everybody closes, you see the staff says that, no, I'm not going home. Why? Because we have an early start tomorrow. I want to put things in place. So it means that that person is committed. That person likes what he or she is doing. But you see some other people, just ordinary alarm in the morning, she wake you up, you see that person starts causing that alarm. It means that, you know, you're not enjoying what you do. So I always say to people, when you want to do anything in life, always make sure that these are things that you have interest in. These are things that you enjoy doing. So when you're doing it, you know, you don't even feel the hard work that you're putting in it.
Wow, interesting. Now, let's go a bit back to your background as the son of a magician. Did you ever participate in magic?
Yes, definitely. Every child from my dad knows how to do magic. And
people used to think that is it a spiritual thing? You get your powers from the devil, or are these really just tricks?
Magic is like a profession.
Okay.
You know, to us, you know, as a profession, and like, you know, we are, you know, devoted Muslims, and I'll say it has nothing to do with any demon or, you know, even abroad during, you know, Christmas celebration, you have magicians that do, you know, attend to audience at the church. So it's just, I see them as two parallel lines that cannot meet. There's the religion aspect for a man, or for him to believe in God and do something. And
Yes.
as a magician, you can learn magic as a profession.
Okay, before I run off on a break, I need to ask questions going back to the issue of magic. Can we train people? Because obviously it's an industry that nobody's tapping into. It's an entertainment industry. Abroad, it's a big deal because people learn it and make a lot of money from it. But say after your dad, we've not really seen an influx of people in that industry. Do you know why? And is there anything you can do to make it more attractive for people to get engaged?
One, I think magic is very, very strenuous. It has to do with a lot of psychology. It has to do with a lot of practice. Even there are different parts of magic. You have the magic of telepathy. You have different kind of magic. That's why you see that sometimes you see a particular magician is an expert in one aspect of magic. Like if you look at the great Houdini was popular, known for escape art. Just lock him up in a room, putting on 150 padlocks, putting somewhere, and it comes out. You might give him something to vanish and he will not be able to do it. So it depends on the aspect of magic that you want to choose and you want to learn from, but it's a very, very strenuous thing. It requires a lot of...
Which one are you familiar with?
Everything.
Really? So you can disappear right now?
Yes.
Please disappear. You have to disappear. Honourable Peller, you must disappear right now.
We're Nigeria to arrest you.
Okay, we're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll get Honourable Peller to do some magic for us and now ask him more about his work in the constituency. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I still have with me Honourable Shina Peller. Thanks for staying with us, sir.
Thank you.
Nigerians want to know what it takes to do the work of a lawmaker in our country. The reason is because many have called for this position to be part-time, saying that they don't need to be there full-time. They just need to make laws and go do their normal business. Now that you're in there, do you agree with this, or do you think it needs people who are there on a full-time basis?
Trust me, I believe that Nigeria do not need people to take legislative work as a full-time work.
Okay.
Because I think that is because like now I'm not allowed to run my business anymore. You understand? But I want to say that it is something I know that I can do. I can be a business owner and at the same time still be a lawmaker and be able to perform diligently, my duties. But that's why you see that there's a lot of corruption matter up and down there, because when people don't have one thing that they are doing, if you're not doing your own thing, then you see politics, you see government as your only business. And that is why sometimes you start seeing that they say some people are corrupt or they are embezzling money and everything. But if you let somebody, that knows what he's doing, or he has been able to carve a niche for himself in a certain, area, and that person becomes a politician. That doesn't say that your life should just stop at that level and just continue to work. The work of a legislator, there are just three things, very simple, for you to make laws. And for me, I want to make laws that will impact the life of a common man. And that's why I always present myself at the House as the voice of a common man. The second obligation of a lawmaker is the oversight. They've created a lot of standing committees on different, sectors, education, maybe on security, defense, and different things. So you have, each of these committee who, doing their oversight, on the MDAs that they are overseeing. And the third one is your constituency outreach. This is getting back to your people. And this is something that I take very seriously. And for me, I went into politics to change Nigeria. Obviously, you cannot change Nigeria from the top. You have to start, from the lowest possible position, which is why I decided to go as a lawmaker. And I've created a framework at home, which is called the Shina Empowerment Program. Shina is an acronym that affects that addresses all the issues affecting us as a country: security, healthcare, infrastructural development, natural resources, academic development, agriculture, youth empowerment, and opportunity for our women. These are the key factors that I believe that is affecting, our country, which affects my community.
Right.
So I've been able to set up a platform, having about 21 people working on this thing, and their primary work is to actually be a bridge between myself and the people that I'm representing. And right now, their first obligation is to give me access to information.
Right.
So what I have done is, I have 21 people. I represent 4 local governments: Iseyin, Itesiwaju, Kadiola, and Iwajowa. For each of these local government, I have 4 people. I have divided each local government into 4 zones,
Right.
and I have 4 people representing a local government. So in total, I have 16 people being the zonal coordinators, overseeing what is going on at their various zones. Then on top of them, I have 4 people. Those are the local government supervisors. What they do is they supervise what the zonal coordinator does. They report to them. And
You mentioned earlier about the fact that there are people who you have assigned to help you be like the bridge to let you know what's going on with your constituency. How accessible are you? Are you the kind of person that you're on ground, or you just rely on these 16 people that you've appointed?
I'm on ground. Like I said to you, I'm going to go to Iseyin tomorrow, and I'm going to be there for the next 2 weeks. Understand? I want to look at what these guys have done. Apart from the structure that's set up, I asked them to actually still do some things, like setting up like some sort of ad hoc committee, dividing each zone into wards and each ward into units, purposely for them to be able to give me access to information. Now, what are these information? I want to have information on the infrastructural deficit, in each of the areas in my constituency. I want to have access to information of the people that live there. I want to know how many men do I have against the women. I want to know how many people that are in school. I want to know how many people that are skilled and unskilled. So these are the things that will make me to be able to come up with solutions.
What's your relationship like with the current governor, and what are you doing to bridge that gap between your party and his party?
For me, it's simple and straightforward. There's a time for politics and there's a time for governance. And he is a governor from Oyo State. There should be some sort of symbiosis relationship between the executive and the legislative in order for the people to get the dividends of democracy that they require. And in order to do that, if it requires working with my governor, I will work with my governor.
Have you extended a hand of friendship?
Definitely. The last time I went to see him at the office, especially to report the case of an erosion that's claimed lives from my constituency. And to my surprise, he received me very well. And even from the next day, he started acting towards helping the people out of the problem. So I know few people might not like that idea, but for me, it's about the people that voted us in.
So you told us quite a number of things you want to do for Iseyin and other constituency in the House. Are there any particular laws that you really would like to push across board?
We're on recess now, and the House just started sitting. We've not been there for a long time, and I can say that even these few weeks that we were in the House for, I've been able to first of all make sure that I raise a motion that affects the life of a common man in Nigeria, which is, the need to tackle the scourge of rape and sexual offenses against children and women in general in Nigeria. And I really want to sponsor bills or raise motions that affect the life of a common man in Nigeria. Whatever that affects the life of a common man is what I actually want to focus on. The next bill that I'll be working on, or motion I'm presently working on, is on insecurity, how to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. These are issues that I believe that is affecting us. The one for the rape, it just had to go at that time because the level at which the level at which our country do not respond, to rape compared to like the rest of the world,
Right.
Is alarming. And I just think that it's high time for us, to do something about that. And the moment I raised that motion at the House, a lot of my colleagues supported that motion.
In this ninth assembly, how has your experience been in that green chamber with the leadership? Do you sense that, okay, this team is going to move us forward? Because the 8th Assembly, there was a lot of setbacks. Executive having issues with
Trust me, I'm very, very positive.
Okay.
I'm very, very positive. I believe that we have the best assembly in 9th Assembly, even from the leadership, right Honourable Shina, very, very competent, and he's been doing so well. And I see the level of, because I think we have more of young guys, in the house now, and people are ready to put their hands together to work.
Young guys. Senator Abu just did one last.
We are
very careful with young guys now, because we're excited about young guys, but now we are being careful.
Let me tell you, one of our greatest problems in Nigeria is this. The moment that you see any negativity in something, Nigeria is a problem. You forget about all the opportunities surrounding that thing. I see a lot of opportunities in getting the young guys into the office. So you not just because of just one person. Now believe that every young guy is like that. You understand? Okay. So I can tell you that we have great minds at the National Assembly, House of Reps, that we're really working together.
So while I was preparing for this meeting, somebody had told me that we have lots of laws on the land, but implementation is a major issue.
Yeah.
Now, as a lawmaker, would you be willing to do anything to help ensure that the enforcement of these laws are seen through to the end?
That's one of the things that we're actually working on at the House of Representatives right now. For me, coming in, my first point of work getting into the National Assembly is to actually do an audit of the existing laws and actually follow it through to see the ones that have been implemented or not. And there's a committee that makes sure that there is compliance.
As we begin to wind down this conversation, I'd like you to tell us Iwoja, Itesiwaju, the various local governments there. What are the projects within those various places you feel that is needed? I know you're saying your own place very close to you.
Yeah, there's a lot. I come from an area that is very, very wealthy. And I believe that the government is not tapping into the resources from where I come from. It's saying it's the home of Ashoke. And I believe that it's high time for the government to support, that craft from the saying. Because even we have various universities, schools, secondary school, government schools. There's nothing that says our government should not make it compulsory for every government school to be wearing a showcase a uniform. Because it's high time for Nigeria to look inward. It's that time that we have to start promoting our own local content. So also in the tourist sector, in the tourism sector, look at Ado-Awaye Suspended Lake. Ado-Awaye Suspended Lake is one of the 2 suspended lakes that we have in the world. There's one in Colorado, the second one is in my local government. The government is not doing anything to it. You are not tapping into it. Having a lake on top of a very, 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 very high rock. And you have a big lake on top of it, and nothing is being done to it. Bad roads, you cannot even have access to it. And even moving forward, our land is very, very good for agriculture, yet the farmers from where I come from, over 70% are still involved in small-scale farming. We do not have, processing plants. I think people are using technology to drive agriculture now. These are the things I believe that, the government should do in order, to be able to let us diversify the economy.
All right, we have to round up now, but before we go out, you have to do some magic for us, because you promised that you
Should I make you disappear?
Please, make me disappear. As long as I land in my house, I'm fine. But you have to do some magic for us.
What's this?
That's the bottle cover.
Take it. Put it in your hand like this. No, put it in that hand. Put
This
it in
hand?
that hand, yeah. Like that. Then blow that hand. What happened?
Nothing happened.
Oh, no, you're not doing it. I will do it for you. This is what I said you should do. I said you should put it here.
Okay.
Put it there. Blow it.
You didn't even put it
You
there.
got it?
That was a trick. That was a trick. I saw it. That's not
Then
magic.
do what I've done.
Let me tell you what he did.
Yeah, then. Nah, you cannot.
Blow it.
No, you can't. You are not
Blow
opening
this.
your hand. No, you didn't open your hand. You open your hand.
I hope it's in now.
No, you didn't.
See now.
You didn't open your hand. You didn't open your hand. You have to open your hand. When you put it here, you open it like that. I do it, and it's gone. And you bring it down.
Wow. Nice. Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. We had a blast. So that's about it. We've been chatting with the Honourable Shina Peller. He is the lawmaker from Oyo State. We've had a great time talking to him. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.